Good morning. Welcome to Squid Shot. We are headed to Florida's Prairie Land. I didn't even know we had a Prairie Land, but it is just north of Lake Okeechobee, where there is also a light preserve. What's a light preserve? You're about to find out. A light preserve is where there is no light pollution at all in any way for so many miles. I'm not quite sure how many. I'll put it on the screen right here. I'll look it up. Okay, so that many miles away is the closest normal light source. If you want any light, it has to be red filtered light. And the reason it needs to be red filtered light is because we as humans do have some night vision. It takes a few minutes for it to settle in and for us to actually have decent night vision. But once we have it, it's good. But if any other light source comes on, we lose it immediately and have to resettle into having good night vision. Whereas red filtered light will not disrupt your ability to see at night. When it comes to the camera that you're going to take with you to take pictures of stars, I recommend a full frame sensor as opposed to a cropped sensor in any way. I'm using the Sony A7C. Hello, good morning, how are you?
Hey man, I'm great, how are you?
Get you a snack.
It is only from the bunch. She got it.
All right, back on the road. Everybody got a snacky? Very good. Well, we made it here, we had a little bit of a bite to eat, and we're gonna go over and check out the campsite for the astronomy pad. So we're gonna camp here overnight so that we can see the stars better. Take a look at what she's working on. Cute little tent. But let's go ahead and look at the lenses and why I had said earlier you want a short focal length lens over a long focal length lens. Let's go over to the table. There's a rule. It's called the 500 rule. You're going to take 500 and divide it by the focal length of the lens you're using. The number you get is how many seconds you need to set your shutter speed to minus 1 or 2 seconds. So that way you get pinpricks and not ovals or streaks. So something like the Sigma 150 to 600 would be ridiculous to a certain degree unless you're willing to shoot at, here, let me check my notes, either 3 seconds for the 150 millimeters or 21/25ths of a second, or probably 4/5ths of a second, to get any kind of a pinprick, which is a very short length of time when you're working with extreme dark and you want to collect as much light as humanly possible. So even the Tamron 28 to 200 wouldn't be a great option for this kind of shoot. The 28 is kind of on the minimal usable range, but if you can go wider, please do, because even at that 28, you can only set it to 17 seconds, and if you're looking for a really nice deep pickup of the light available, you want a longer shot. So I'm going with an 18mm on a full sensor camera. It is the SLR Magic 18mm. It goes to a 2.8 f-stop, which is the minimum you want to be able to use, or sorry, the maximum you want to be able to use. You want to actually go as low as humanly possible. If you could use a 1.4 or a 1.8, that would be preferable, but 2.5, 2.8 is okay. You can still get away with doing it. And you want to set it to that full open f-stop, the lowest number you can set it to. And it being 18mm gives me a whopping 27 seconds of shutter speed to be able to use, obviously minus a few seconds. 2000 to 4000 ISO. So the only thing left to do is to wait for the sun to go down and the Milky Way to come out.
So the storm didn't really let us get any pictures of the Milky Way last night. So I woke up, it's 3:45 in the morning, and it looks like we've got a decent view of it. So I'm going to try to get a couple shots and go back to sleep for a couple more hours. Okay, let's try this. So it's about 7:03 and we've got to pack up real fast because we need to make it somewhere else about an hour away for a boat ride. Let's pack all this up as fast as we can and get going.